On December 14, 2025, the world lost a legend. But the true story isn't about how Rob Reiner lived. It's about the terrifying way he and his wife, Michele, died. To understand the horror that took place behind those mansion gates, we have to answer 6 questions that have left the LAPD and the public in shock. 1. Who was the real Nick Reiner, and what kind of madness leads a son to commit the ultimate betrayal? 2. What did Michele Reiner whisper in her final moments that effectively ended her son's life as a free man? 3. When did the family's perfect facade finally crack? Was it the public explosion at a celebrity party just hours before the bloodbath? 4. Where was Nick hiding while his parents lay dead? And what was found inside a Santa Monica hotel room that proves this wasn't an accident? 5. Why did Donald Trump use this tragedy to launch a political attack that has been called vile and hateful? And 6. How did a father who dedicated his life to saving his son through art end up as his son's final victim? Stay with us. Tonight we answer every single one of these questions. Let's answer the most important question first. What exactly happened in those final moments? When Rob and Michele's daughter Romy found them, the scene was catastrophic. Their throats had been slit, a violent, personal way to kill. But the true story is that Michele Reiner didn't die instantly. As she was being rushed to the hospital, she was still fighting. In the back of that ambulance, Michele allegedly made what lawyers call a dying declaration. She whispered to her daughter that her son, Nick, was the attacker. Under the law, a person's final words are considered the absolute truth because it is assumed no one wants to meet their creator with a lie on their lips. This wasn't just a daughter's hunch, it was a mother's final, heartbreaking testimony against her own blood. So who is Nick Reiner? To the world, he was the child of Hollywood royalty, but the truth is far darker. Nick began a descent into drug addiction at 14. By 15, he was in rehab. He went to rehab 17 times. He was homeless in 3 different states, while his father was one of the wealthiest directors in the world. Nick wasn't just struggling with drugs. Sources say he battled severe psychosis. A former yoga instructor who worked with him at age 10 recalled Nick screaming for attention, showing early signs of deep emotional instability. Was this a case of too much, too late for a family that tried to use fame to fix a biological mental health crisis? When did the fuse finally hit the dynamite? It was Saturday night at a Christmas party hosted by Conan O'Brien. The true story is that Nick was acting bizarre, asking guests if they were famous and dressed in a hoodie that signaled he didn't belong. Then came the shouting match. Rob Reiner, a man known for his kindness, finally snapped at his son's behavior. They had a very loud argument in front of the biggest names in Hollywood. Rob and Michele left the party in distress. That was the last time their friends saw them alive. By 4 a.m. the next morning, Nick was at a hotel and the crime had already been committed. Where did Nick go? He checked in to the Pierside Hotel in Santa Monica. The true story inside that room is horrifying. Staff later discovered the shower stall covered in blood. Nick had used bed sheets to cover the windows. Why did the police take so long to find him? Because Nick was a resident of the Brentwood mansion. The LAPD had to wait for a specific search warrant to enter his living quarters. This legal technicality gave Nick hours to try and fail to wash the blood of his parents off his hands. Finally, we must ask why this turned into a political circus and how it ends. Donald Trump's post claiming Rob died of Trump derangement syndrome added a layer of toxicity to an already unbearable tragedy. Now Nick is on suicide watch in an LA jail. His lawyer, Alan Jackson, faces the hardest case of his career. How can you defend a man when his own mother named him as the killer? The legacy of Rob Reiner, a man who believed in the power of the human spirit, has been met with the ultimate human failure. Rob's last message to us was to be resilient. As we watch this true story unfold in court, we are reminded that no amount of fame or money can shield a family from the darkness of mental illness and addiction. What is your take on Nick's defense? Can an insanity plea hold up against a mother's dying words? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the cases that change everything.